in 1979, the Iranian Revolution, that was a game changer. It flipped Iran from a key U.S. ally under the Shah to a sworn ideological enemy. Which came next was decades of bad blood, the Iranian hostage crisis, the Iraq-Iran war, where we eventually backed Iraq, bankrolling militant groups all over the region, and of course, the constant growing worry about Iran's nuclear ambitions, which they pretty much announced day one of forming the new regime. Now, the heart of the problem is Iran's nuclear program. As we sit here in mid-2025, intelligence reports from the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, inspectors say Iran's enrichment uranium to 60% purity, which is way beyond what you need for civilian purposes and dangerously close to weapons grade. Some experts believe Iran has enough highly enriched uranium that if they pushed it further, could give them material for several nuclear bombs, some sources say even up to 9. The IAEA has been encouraging obstacles in its efforts to obtain clear answers, and full cooperation from the Iran in recent resolutions have been criticized them for failing to meet their goals or their promises. Now, key places like the Natanz and Fordow are ground zero for Iran's nuclear program. Fordow is buried deep underground, hardened to withstand conventional airstrikes. Plus, Iran has also been beefing up its centrifuge capabilities, which could seriously shorten its breakout time. How long it'd take them to make enough fissile materials for weapon? Iran's relentless push isn't just some technical issue. It's a direct threat to stability in the region, a danger to allies like Israel, and a flat-out challenge to American interests. Along with Iran is responsibly, directly or indirectly, for the deaths of thousands of American soldiers over the last 45 years. Also, right now, with the ballistic missile capabilities they have, supposedly some estimates that they can reach as far as Europe. You don't think if they were to have 9 nuclear bombs, they wouldn't put those just in Iran? They want to destroy the whole West, including America, and any country that is aligned with America. So that's England, France, Italy, Germany, all of those. And there's estimates that their current ballistic missiles can reach that far. They don't have any ballistic missiles that can reach America, but still, any type of nuclear weapon being launched right now, and especially at the levels it can be done now, would have effects all around the world with the fallout from it. So the last thing we need is a terrorist regime with an 89-year-old leader that's borderline being taken over by somebody else that could be worse, and is also a terrorist organization that funds tons of terrorist proxies with nuclear weapons. Just, we don't know. Now, President Trump's foreign policy towards Iran has been clear since long before he ran for his first term, which is that Iran cannot have under any circumstances, obtain a nuclear weapon. I'm going to pause 1 second because I want to say this. I've heard tons of people sitting there going, oh, Iran has the right to defend themselves. Iran has the right to defend themselves. Nobody is denying the fact that they have the right to defend themselves. That's why when Israel attacked them, we didn't just jump in, and the second they fired back at Iran fired back, we didn't just jump in and start fighting them, because of the fact they do have a right to defend themselves. Now, that doesn't mean that they have the right to have a nuclear weapon. We need to get rid of nuclear weapons. I mean, the only reason America hasn't given ours up is because we know Russia and China won't. Nuclear weapons have only been used, thank God, once in the history of the world, outside of testing underground and buried and stuff. And the nuclear weapons that were tested back in the 40s and 50s that weren't underground were nowhere near as powerful as they are today. I mean, today they're 100,000 times more powerful than they were back in the 40s, 50s, 60s. So you think of the damage that Big Boy and Little Boy did over Nagasaki and Hiroshima. I mean, today it would be Japan, the whole country of Japan wouldn't be livable for hundreds of years. Tens of thousands of years if they let it actually explode into the ground and not above the ground. So, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why we don't want them having nuclear weapons. Now, it's why during his first term, he pulled the United States out of the Iran nuclear deal, the JCPOA, in 2018, and started a maximum pressure campaign through sanctions and other diplomatic actions, sending a clear message he wanted Tehran's behavior to change.